Good morning, everyone, and welcome into the Bozard Ford studio for the St. Johns County Show that's on in the morning. We have St. Johns County Sheriff Rob Hardwick in studio this morning. We will talk everything from back to school to how the sheriff is responding to new state laws and debates over e-bikes. We'll get to all that and more, but first we want to thank Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's a local legacy built on trust, family values, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Proudly serving St. Augustine and beyond for over 75 years, Bozard offers award-winning service, unbeatable selection, and a state-of-the-art facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane for no appointment-needed maintenance, and even Ford's Garage restaurant right there on site. Recognized with the Triple Crown Award and President's Awards, Bozard Ford Lincoln is where hometown service meets national excellence. Great pricing, friendly faces, and a better buying experience are just off I-95 and State Road 16. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. Also, a big shout out to all of our amazing sponsors: Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Bin 39 Wine Bar, B&S Signs, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and St. Augustine Handy Houses. Support all of our wonderful sponsors and support us with your likes, comments, and shares. You can find us on YouTube and help us reach our goal of 2,000 subscribers. You can also follow us on Rumble and send Facebook stars. We love those. Our app is back and better than ever. Download it today in the Apple App Store. All right. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, happy
good morning.
Thursday.
I'm going through the reads, and I've got guys on both sides playing on their phones.
No, not playing.
We were talking.
Not playing.
We were talking to each other about you.
I know. It happens.
mean boys.
No,
Yeah.
I'm that guy that speaks out loud. I think you know me very well.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't waste my time on
You're
text
not
messages. No, not shy.
I
No.
was saying hi to our minions out there.
Okay.
Our minions.
Oh,
So they're tuning in and coming in and
Yeah.
winning the first comment prize went to Nick this morning.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Do
So-
you confirm that? Do you see him first, too?
I saw him first too.
Because
What did
there
Nick
is
say?
controversy.
He just said good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
oh, so the first one to
First
comment.
one, yeah.
First one to comment, I always reply to them, first comment prize.
Okay.
But it's the first comment that I see, and sometimes other people see their
So
comment
there's
before
controversies on.
Yeah.
Always controversies in everything we do.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
even including that.
it. 100% recount is what is being called
Make sure
for.
I get the Troy beard hairs off my uniform because
Yeah.
my wife would be like,
Excuse me, you and
Yeah.
Troy are getting too close.
I have a lint roller for you.
oh, nicely. I appreciate that. Thanks, Amanda.
So, we have the sheriff in, obviously.
We do.
Blake, are you still alive back there? I think he's
so.
still there.
I'm just trying my best to be alive back here.
Blake, that's a fireman's mustache that you have. So
is.
the sheriff's a little concerned.
I'm trying. Is that Eddie Murphy on the TV behind you?
Yes, that is Axel Foley in Beverly Hills Cop.
I love the mustache.
He's rocking the stash.
Make sure we talk about the facial hair thing because I just went off on some staff about the facial hair thing.
Man.
Physically this morning.
Adding to the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, facial
Yeah.
hair.
Actually, I'll pull the email up as while you're doing your thing. I'll read it to you what I sent.
All right, we do have a question of the day.
We do. Okay.
All right, and the question of the day is, what was the last artist or song you heard coming in? Don't need to give me the name of the song, but usually you remember the artist.
Say it again.
The song that you listened to coming in, like as you got out of the car or whatever you heard this morning. Did you hear any music this morning?
I did.
I didn't hear any music.
I did.
Last
Jimmy Buffett, son of a son of a sailor.
son of a
I was actually singing to myself in the car. I was
That's
like,
a great song.
that was very early this morning, though.
Good one.
Yeah.
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 You-
I didn't. We were thinking about a song last night. It was Top Gun. My kids are very into Top Gun right now, so I had the Top Gun soundtrack. Was the last song I heard last night.
You went to sleep to that?
Well, that was before my house went quiet. The sleepy zone. Blake, what you got?
So I didn't listen to any music this morning, but I think the last song I listened to was Mariah Carey, Fancy.
Oh,
Although he says, puts his head down, he's like, I'm Mariah Carey. Anyway, so
He is honest, though.
yeah.
yeah. He said it out loud.
Hey, ask George Harrigan out in the lobby what he listened to. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
Report
Blake, is
back.
he right there or did he go to bed?
You there still? Hello?
No. My staff acts so busy, but they disappear as soon as the door closes.
We have a much more comfortable couch now.
Yes.
Oh, he's probably sleeping out there.
Yeah.
Harrigan?
Yeah.
Never mind.
It is a very comfy couch.
It's a very comfy couch. So.
That was a storage shelf for a long time. Storage
Yeah,
couch
It was. For sure.
under that
All right.
man.
And
It's clean now.
mine was Randy Travis.
All right.
Oh, listen to
This morning.
you.
Randy Travis this morning.
Which song?
Deeper Than the Holler.
Listen to you.
Yeah.
Is that your motivational music coming in?
I switch up my soundtracks
I'm the
quite
same
a
way.
bit.
Yeah, I'm the same
I
way.
switch up my soundtracks quite a bit because I mean, when we do trivia, the playlist stays on, and that one happened to be on the playlist on Tuesday, and I haven't switched since Tuesday.
Nice.
So, Randy Travis was there, and the song right before that was Michael Jackson. So.
Okay, listen to
was
you.
All right.
It was actually the Jackson 5.
Did you hear that, Barbara Jean?
It was
Jackson 5.
It was ABC by the Jackson 5.
I went to that.
ABC.
Remember back when they had the concert at the old Gator Bowl in Jacksonville? I went to it when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, yeah, and breakdance
wild.
pants and everything.
Oh,
What were
yeah.
those pants called? Oh, parachute pants.
Parachute pants.
They were a little
yeah.
tight. I think my family couldn't afford a larger
The
pair, so I think they
actual-
put me in smalls.
Yeah, you got the playground parachute. You didn't get the one they actually use. You got the
No. People
playground.
right now envisioning going, all right, Sheriff, yeah. That's how Kendall fell in love with me. It was like parachute pants.
Well, you were doing
course.
that. You were doing that dance.
Yeah.
They sold out at the stadium back then. Remember when the Jackson 5
yeah.
came here?
I bet they did.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Of
wild.
course.
Yeah. So
I wanted to see New Kids on the Block as my first concert. My mom wouldn't let me go.
Would not.
Nope. I was the only girl on the block that didn't get to go.
Oh,
I think it's because she didn't want to go.
and listen to you now, all grown up. Listen to Top Gun before you go to bed.
I know. Rock it out.
still listening to the New Kids. So, what was your first concert you went to? Was
Oh
that it?
goodness! I think that was because my mother, my sister, my brother, we all went to. I would say that was probably one of the first ones I remember. It was
Yeah.
a big to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I would think I might have been a teenager, maybe 12, 13 ish. Just guessing. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your first concert?
Mine wasn't until college.
Really?
So it was Family Values Tour.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Like, which one was your first? Do you remember?
Was it Black Eyed Peas?
Probably might have been Black Eyed Peas.
All right.
It was probably your first concert, not at the amphitheater.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you saw a lot of backstage. Ah.
He thought it was normal for
Yeah.
everyone to be backstage.
It's like, what do you do this weekend? Just going to concerts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
I have to meet Joan Jett.
Surprisingly, Sheriff, I actually hate concerts. I don't like going to them.
Me too. I hate them too. I can't stand going to
Give
them.
me
He doesn't
your
like
ticket.
concerts, Yeah.
And I'm very close with Cole Swindell. We talk on a regular basis. He's coming to town in October. He's looking forward to seeing you at the concert. I was like, I'll see you at dinner at my house. I'm not going to see you at the concert. bro. Yeah. I can put you on PlayStation and or on my tune, my playlist, and listen to my stereo in my car in peace.
Yeah.
Not have to listen.
What's
to
yours?
My first one was at the High Life Fronton in Daytona. Sha-na na. I
Sha-na-na.
was like 11 or 12.
Nice.
Do, 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 do. Good night, sweetheart.
Wow. I'm trying to do the math on 11 or 12 for me, which would be close to you. So
Yeah. Yeah, you're I think 2 years behind me, right?
2, yeah.
You're
Yeah.
56.
54.
Oh, you're 54. You're
Yeah.
4 years behind me.
Oh, I thought I was right. You were 50. I thought you were just 1 or 2 years ahead of me.
Yeah. Well, it's because
But I'm in dog years working at the sheriff's
it's
office.
because I'm so youthful.
Of
True.
course.
True.
Yeah. That's
True.
why.
Okay, Sha-na-na.
I think I knew the words to that song because of 3 Men and a Little Baby.
Yeah. they
Probably
sing.
around
yeah, that's
11
right.
years old, too.
Yeah.
I was older than 11 at that time. By the
No
time
way.
By the time that came out.
No way.
Oh man. So Sheriff, thanks for coming in.
Yes.
We just always enjoy having you in here.
Appreciate you.
And we wanted to get you in here right before school too.
Yeah.
And talk about like school safety
Yep.
and some of the things some of the measurements you guys are taking. And I understand you guys have more resource officers out there. Can you
Yep.
talk a little bit about that? And
Yeah, so
what,
just
what you do to prepare for school going back?
Yeah, so our resource deputy sheriffs, if you don't know, of course, here in St. John's County, they opened a brand new school at Rivertown this year, which is Hollows Grove. Right now, currently, because of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, as you all know, and what happened in Parkland back in 2018, 17 people wounded, 17 people murdered, but the entire country went upside down. But honestly, because of that, as you all know, with horrific incidents comes good things. And the good things are now we have deputy sheriffs because of mandated legislature in every one of our schools in St. Johns County, to include some of our private schools too as well, and charter schools. But anyway, so as we kick the school year off, of course, Captain Peggy Tennyson, who you know very well, she kind of is the police chief for me over all of our schools and resource deputy sheriffs in St. Johns County. So again, we do have at least one deputy sheriff in the school. I have proposed to the new administration superintendent coming in that I'd love to go to 2 permanent deputy sheriffs in all of our bigger schools. You got Tucoy Creek opening this year with about 2,600, Creekside with about 2,600, and Bartram with about the same. So we got some massive schools out there that I believe, we need at least 2 deputy sheriffs. So also with our youth resource deputy sheriff, something we added over the last year and a half is we have 2 new canine units that are in our schools. Deputy Hall has Deputy Tiger with him, who's a canine narcotic dog, and now a gunmetal dog that just got certified 2 weeks ago in gunmetal. Oh, wow. And then our second deputy sheriff in the school is Brian Wright, Deputy Brian Wright, and he has canine deputy Scout with him, who's also narcotics and gunmetal certified as of 2 weeks ago. So we're looking forward to that. We have kind of done something a little bit different with those 2 dogs. Scout is a long-haired or long-whiskered, they call it, a German short-hair pointer. And then Tiger is a chocolate lab. So what we've done with those 2 dogs are they can actually sniff people, which is out of the ordinary usually for canines. Usually it's an object they're sniffing for. Mm-hmm. So now those canines are training with sniffing people by walking by them and maybe hitting on their pockets or their person if they have, of course, gunmetal or a narcotic, illegal narcotic. We also added over the last 2 years 2 threat assessment deputies that are technically detectives. They are very proactive with working all the threats in the schools that we get, either via social media platforms or written threats or, of course, verbal threats in the schools. So 2 detectives. Mitch Watson works in the north, and Rachel Souls works in the south part of the county, just for schools. And then also, too, we have a permanent juvenile civil citation, which is Deputy Lori Lucas. She does nothing besides juvenile civil citations. So again, we're just trying to do more and have its own agency, even though they have all the assets that we have in the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. That's one. We have 71 school crossing guards that work at 28 schools, 78 posts, 78 posts. And they move about 28,000 kids a day to and from school through these positions and posts. So they're amazing people. Then about 24 to 25 public service assistants that help with traffic control. So those are just the people that work in the schools. But we have a great relationship with St. Johns County. And as we get ready to go back to school, of course, the school buses, we try to educate, of course, and please go to our social media platforms and see what does the law say of when you have to stop. And I always use the amphitheater because it's a place that everybody knows for the most part here in St. Johns County. If you are in the middle of the road in the amphitheater, you have to stop in both directions. So let's say the school bus has stopped picking up children in the amphitheater as the exit coming out there. You have to stop in both directions. There's nothing in the median. It's open lanes, basically. There's nothing. There's no curb. There's no sidewalk. There's no raised bushes, nothing like that. You go down further in front of the bowling alley is the next example where you have 2 lanes of traffic on both sides, so 4 lanes of traffic with a turning lane, but you have a raised medium with, palm trees and bushes and stuff like that. You do not have to stop in the opposite direction. If you go further down by Anastasia Catholic Church, now you have 2 lanes of a highway going in both directions. 1 lane in each direction. Both directions have to stop. So that's the big thing is school bus safety. And if you're not sure, just stop. Mm-hmm. Of course, we have a lot of kids on school buses here in St. Johns County. Upwards of 30-something thousand actually move on school buses every day for all of our public schools, which is 44. And then the last thing, of course, we talk about is these e-bikes. A lot of kids are getting to and from school on e-bikes, bicycles, skateboards, golf carts. We are just really hitting the educational piece on this. I think you all know this. We have some kids in critical condition as we speak today. Even one just a couple of days ago that was hit by a UPS truck. And unfortunately, the kid is at fault. I hate to say that, but just fortunately came out of his driveway. The UPS truck has the right of way in the street. And of course, the kid came out and got struck by the vehicle. So we're trying to really push the educational and enforcement part. We stepped it up over the summertime. Our motor officers, our traffic units, our deputy sheriffs out there. This is not, I want to punish the kids and stick a ticket in their pocket. This is, let's educate the kids and save lives. So right now, currently the e-bike statute or the e-bike laws are under the bicycle statute, which basically says if you're 16 years and under, must wear a helmet. And of course, you got to abide by the same rules and laws as you would as a car, basically. Yeah. So stopping at stop signs and yielding right away, stuff like that. The e-bike is currently under the bicycle statute. So a lot of people ask, well, they can't ride on the sidewalk. Well, technically they can because they are an bicycle as we speak. I am approaching legislature this year when they get back in session trying to change that statute. We're taking the lead on that with Senator Leak and Representative Kim Kendall and trying to change the law on that and pull it out and make it its own, You two will remember this, but remember the days of the moped that had the bicycle pedal wheels on there? The statute's always, it's kind of really there. Mm-hmm. We just got to take it back and revamp that old moped bicycle statute. Okay. And again, we're looking forward to it. So looking forward to, of course, school starting back up. But this is one thing I'm going to tell you is everybody wants to drop their kids off on week 1 or 2, and I understand that, but that means there's going to be additional traffic on the road. So give us a couple weeks for the kinks to work out. Quit your complaining because it's not going to work. Kids are back.
That same traffic pattern week 1's not going to be the same.
Yeah, it changes. Just give us some time. So, and again, there's a brand new school on County Road 13. 80% of the kids are going back into Rivertown, but there's some change in the traffic flow and pattern. So just be patient. Do your back planning better. Maybe look at the school bus times. They're all public record on the St. Johns County School bus or school website, and look at the times the school is open, and maybe adjust your schedule away from those times.
All right, we actually, I jumped the gun. We actually should do the traffic report the weather report. Okay, the weather report's going to affect traffic because there is going to be a thunderstorm coming in this afternoon. So I'm predicting there will be rain at 1:28 today.
1:28.
1:28 today. There will be rain, but it's going to be a nasty afternoon. I mean, so if you got stuff to do, do it this morning.
Will you text me and remind me at 1:28 and see if you're right?
Okay, I will do it.
Roger.
I will do it. Actually, you'll just go, he was right.
The chances are 90%.
Yeah.
If it's dry and not raining at 1:28, take a selfie and tag us in
Yeah, if you're
it.
Yeah, send it to me too as well. Make sure you have my cell
Try
phone.
at 1:28. I want to see it. So,
All right, that quick check of the weather brought to you by Bin 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets. Bin 39, tucked inside St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street. With over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker, it's the perfect spot for a romantic date night or a relaxing after-work unwind. Sit by the glass or the bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday, open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, I'll have what Irving's having. Bin 39, your taste to discover. All right, Blake, I think we're going to do an abbreviated Hit the Blake's traffic report.
Indeed. Traffic looks fine.
Loading.
Not
There we
bad.
go.
Yeah, it's moving.
Not bad.
lower right looked a little green.
That's because school's not open.
Was abbreviated, that is true. All right, that traffic report brought to you by Old Town Trolley. Climb aboard Old Town Trolley and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenient stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's Historic Hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, and local St. Johns County residents are ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program. Sign up today at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine one stop at a time. All right, we're back on track.
All right.
Whew, she almost ran out of air. Amanda, whoa.
Yeah,
That was good.
She made that quick. Now, Sheriff, last time you were in here, we did talk about a lot of stuff on I-95 and
Sure.
immigration stuff and
Yes,
things
sir.
like that. What has changed and what have you guys gotten better at? What have you learned in this process of what you're doing on I-95?
So a couple things. First of all, you know, I'm a believer in I don't want to listen to what other people say. I have to do it on my own 2 feet and listen to my own county. So I took a trip down to Alcatraz just a couple of days ago. I think it was Tuesday of this week, so 3 or 4 days ago, because I wanted to see for myself what the media is saying, what the politicians are saying. And in order for me, to buy into the process and believe in the process, I got to see it for myself. So that was something I did, of course. And as the state's Florida Model Jail Standards chairman, I oversee, inspection-wise, all 67 jails across the state of Florida with my team on the board, on the council. And then also, too, I'm on the Florida Foundation for Correctional Excellence, which is the next level up, which is the state level. So I felt like going down there, again, what we're doing here in St. Johns County is something not new. It just happens to be, amplified because of what is going on in our nation. So, here in St. Johns County, a brand new law came into effect. I should say more of a reporting process for law enforcement effective just a few days ago on August 4th. So basically every encounter we have with a person that is illegally here, from a foreign country, of course, that makes sense. We have to do another form on them, and it's kind of a lengthy form. And this is Florida Department of Law Enforcement's way of collecting data and seeing what is actually going on out there at the state level as opposed to the federal level. So that kind of kicked in on Monday. Here in St. Johns County, we haven't really had to change what we're doing business wise. I'm probably one of the few counties that has a full-time team that does work on Interstate 95, and this is interdiction. And I think with a little bit of common sense will tell you that if you do a lot of traffic stops, if you do a lot of encounters, you're going to encounter people that are wanted for state charges, federal charges, deportation charges, all the above. And that just comes, of course, with doing business. So we didn't pick it up. I'm a very aggressive police officer. I always have been for 31 years. I call it professionally aggressive. I think we're doing it here in St. Johns County. I've kind of taken the reins off and allowed our deputy sheriffs to be deputy sheriffs. And again, I think the community likes what we're doing because it's lowered crime and people feel safe here for the most part. So on the immigration side of the house, we report. But again, we talked about this just not too long ago was, when you're pulled over, the two of you, Amanda and, Troy, when you get pulled over, your license is run through the National Crime Information Database and the Florida Crime Information Database, which is called NCIC and FCIC. So it's kind of looking for wants or warrants. Well, during that database now, effective just this past week, now in there, if you have a warrant or a want by the federal government, it'll actually hit in there. It didn't used to do that. So if you were wanted for deportation or wanted by the state of Florida for deportation and the federal government, then it will hit in there on your driver's license. So it may say Amanda is wanted by the federal government, Customs and Border Patrol. They call it ERO, which is Enforcement and Removal Operations for Customs and Border Patrol, HSI, all those federal, ABC alphabet agencies. So again, I think we're already doing it, but also too, we're not on 95. It's not like, the day someone said, Sheriff, you're just out there profiling. If you can see a person that is illegally here at 90 miles an hour on 95, we got to use you across the country because you'd be a millionaire. We're out there doing traffic enforcement, and I'll educate people that there's 618, I believe, statutes that actually regulate your driving, whether it's your registration, your license, your seatbelt, your speeding, 618 laws. Well, I think we all know if you drive on 95, we can easily pull you over. There's a lot of things that you violate out there, whether it's changing lanes, driving aggressively, but speeding is the number one. So with, again, a lot of enforcement comes people that are going to be deported based on being wanted by the federal government. So here's just a quick example, and then we can, go to questions from YouTube. But you get pulled over on 95, which is what our common thing is, and then we come to your window and you tell us that you're illegally here and you don't have a driver's license. Well, we got to do something. First of all, you can't drive in the state of Florida with no driver's license, whether you're white, black, or any color you want to think of. It does. We're not discriminating based on race, creed, color, religion, sexual orientation, or age. You have to have a driver's license. So, and if you have no way to prove who you are, the only way for us to do that is to take you to our county jail for a criminal offense of driving on a public road or highway with no driver's license. Once you go to our jail, we run your fingerprints, and you probably will end up in the system, which is called Immigration Alien Query. It's called IAQ. You're run through the system, and in that system, it will pop up and say, Amanda is wanted by Customs and Border Patrol for failing to attend an asylum court date. That's nothing to do with us. Now, after the criminal charge is done away with, whether you bond out, now the federal government has 48 hours to come pick you up and then bring you to their in-processing center, which is up in Jacksonville, just across the border, the county line. So again, we're just doing exactly what we've been doing for years. It's just amplified now because of what's going on in America. So I think we're doing it. No one is doing it better than we are in St. Johns County. I think we're doing it professional. We're doing it right. We're not knocking on businesses looking for, the people that are in the business that are here illegally, that are operating and not doing anything illegally criminal wise. We are looking for criminals that have committed offenses. But if they're wanted by the federal government for their deportation, immigration violations, then we have to do the right thing and turn them over to the federal government.
And I want to follow up on the alligator Alcatraz because you're one of the few people that's actually been there.
Yes,
you understand what it's supposed to look like and how it's supposed to run. At what level is it up and running, or is it going right now? I mean, is it going to get bigger in this location? So I think a lot of people have a lot of questions about that.
Sure.
You've been there, you've seen where it's at. So what level is it at right now, and what level is it getting to?
I was pleasantly surprised because I was really expecting something different, of course. And as you both know, I've been overseas in combat zones multiple times. I would compare it to what they call a FOB, which is a forward operating base. Basically, it's where soldiers would live, or sailors or airmen and Marines overseas at an operating base, basically where there's food, there's water, there's showers, there's landing strips, there's everything you need to survive. It's very, very similar, almost like they took that footprint and moved it to America. It's pretty impressive. So, of course, the landing strip is there. I was impressed that the guy actually running the detainee side of the house is a 30-plus year veteran with the Florida Department of Corrections. He understands it. He knows it. He understands care, custody, and control. He understands the nutritional value of eating right, what they have to be fed, medical services, dental services, psychological services, legal services. It was pretty impressive. Right now, the population was just around 1,500. Their goal is to build that encampment up until around 3,000 is what the goal is. The average stay is, right now they're keeping them under 14 days there. They were quiet in there, very respectful. They had artificial turf out in the recreational area to give that sense of normalcy when people are actually going outside per se. They were kept in an area very similar to what we call a block in the St. Johns County Jail. It's 32 individuals are kept in there. There's no females there. There's no juveniles there. Every one of the 1,500 plus had been arrested somewhere in America for a criminal charge. It could have been as low as a driving with no license, like I just talked about, or it could be as high as homicide. Just guessing on what I saw there, I would say 70% were probably Hispanic based. I would say 10% were Russian based, and I would say the rest is kind of all over the board, but that's what we saw there. There were known gang members there that were identified through the Russian gangs, through the Hispanic gangs, and so and Asian gangs. There was telephones in their cell blocks on 24 hours a day. There are bathrooms and water in their cell blocks on 24 hours a day. Of course, the shower facilities are the next tent over per se, but it was dress right dress. It's probably better than what most people are living in America. I would say more than 50%. They have a nutritional value on their foods where they're preparing meals, no matter of what your faith or your belief is. They are preparing meals. I saw the meals. It said kosher. It said Muslim. Yes, all the above. Vegetarians, no meat. I mean, I saw those. And it's actually run by a kitchen out of, I think, up in Mississippi, Louisiana. I physically saw a man wiping down a table where food was being prepared with bleached cloths when I was there. It was probably the cleanest facility I've ever seen. And I've inspected a lot of jails across this state, and I've seen a lot of prisons across America. I would say it would be in the top 5% of the cleanest jails. And people are getting medical attention, dental attention. There was an amputee there getting a his prosthetic leg attached or given to him. They're getting everything right to go back to their country. And they spoke to me, the detainees did. They were calm, they were polite, they were quiet. They understood that coming to America illegally was a risk, but they were willing to take. Absolutely. Yeah. And they all said that. The ones I talked to said that. There was no screaming going on. There was no yelling going on. The staff was overwhelming there. It was, matter of fact, I ate in the chow hall for the employees. The chow hall for the detainees was better than the chow hall for the employees that are working on post.
Sheriff Hardwick, I do have a question for you because in your last answer you mentioned saying that the alligator actress has noted gang members in the facility right now. Can you talk about Florida's state gang databases and how you're able to use that tool for enforcement, like during traffic stops? Can you see if a person in the computer is like a known gang member or has been flagged by the Florida database?
Yeah, so good question. Actually, I'm proud to say, just to get off topic a little bit, our team, our investigative team inside the jail was just honored 2 days ago in Orlando. I drove down to receive the award with them. They were just awarded the best gang intelligence in the United States through the Association of National Gang Associations. So the gang database in there is actually controlled by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. It is a drop down we can actually add in there if we know a known gang member. We do share intelligence. I think you all know this. Our real-time intelligence center, the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. Every one of our analysts are assigned to a federal, state, or local entity, meaning that they can actually share that data. The big thing, of course, I have a great relationship with our touching sheriffs, which you all know. TK Waters is one of my closest friends. Michelle Cook is phenomenal in Clay County. Gator Deloach and I talk weekly. Putnam County, of course, and Rick Staley and I are very close. So I got that relationship with the surrounding areas. We have members on the Joint Terrorist Task Force for the FBI. I think I'm the only sheriff that carries a secret security clearance with the FBI, with the national government or the federal government. So again, that's those relationships, data sharing. So yes, we can identify them. And Blake, you asked something too. When you come into our jail, and let's say we're taking photos of you, we take photos of your tattoos because our people in the intelligence-based policing can actually identify you by your gang affiliation, by certain tattoos. And I think everybody knows that by Latin Kings, of course, there's certain identifiers, and Crips and Bloods, of course, and other gangs that are here locally too as well. So I think that gang intelligence information that we share, Blake, is important. But yes, it's readily accessible to all of our deputy sheriffs.
All right. There is a language with tattoos. I know there was a lot of discussion in previous months because our president had said that this person had these tattoos, which mean this, and people are like, that's not written on his knuckles. And there is a language with tattoos. There is.
It's a branding. And it's very powerful too. And the big thing is, and I studied gangs when I was working in the prison system. I worked for the Florida Department of Corrections when I first came out of the military. And I actually studied the gang tattoos because I was like, they would tell me what it means. But for you to get branded with something and for another gang member to find out you have their brand and it's not there legitimately, your life is on the line. So it's a big, if you were to have a tattoo on your fingers or somewhere visible, most of the gangs, as you know, you have to be visible. They're going to be able to identify you from a distance, meaning that they walk up to you, they know exactly who you are by the branding. And it's very risky to get, fake branding per se on you that you're a member of something that you're not, especially down those roads, whether it's outlaws or moguls, or whether it's the MS-113 or it's the Bloods, the Crips. I mean, you go down those roads, it's dangerous. Latin Kings, you get a Latin King tattoo and you're not a Latin King, you will disappear.
Yeah.
It's disrespect.
It's a stolen valor.
You're darn right. It's almost like it's just like the military. I don't want to say that out loud, but it is stolen valor. You're absolutely right.
I know somebody that got a Zodiac tattoo that they thought looked cool.
Dangerous.
And someone came up to them and they were like, that looks exactly like this gang. You might want to cover your legs.
Highly recommend you.
And they Google searched it and they were like,
oh no. My bad. That's on me. My bad. Yeah. Add the sunshine to it, with some rainbows going into it.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're doing great things.
Do we want to take a break?
We're not going to do the gas report.
Okay.
We're going to pass on the gas report, but it is brought to us by
Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, available 24/7. Their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved ones out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just help when you need it most. When time matters, remember the name and the number. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245.
22.
All right, and we're doing the music from 6 o'clock today because there's so much music out there, and it's still a pretty long list.
Still a pretty long list. All right, live music report. We've got Doug Hyde, a.k.a. the Duggernaut, at Marina Munch at 6 o'clock. We've got Moro Family Band at Plaza de la Constitucion at 6 o'clock. Dewey Valles at Iggy Grill and Bar. That is 6 o'clock. Baby Grays at Pesca Villano by Michael Lugo, 6 o'clock. Space Heaters at Prohibition Kitchen at 6 o'clock. Chase Foraker is at Pierre's Pub at 6 o'clock. Joshua Tennessee Worthies at Colonial Oak Music Park at 7 o'clock. Kevin Cunningham is at Colonial Oak Music Park at 7. T.R. Zielinski's at Colonial Oak Music Park at 7 o'clock. Sister Hazel's at Ponte Vedra Concert Hall at 7:30. Matt Wilson's at Cortesi's Bistro at 7:30. Jaja Flamenca is at Schooners at 9 o'clock. And Versa Vitale is at Tradewinds at 9 o'clock. A music report brought to you by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust Fidus Roofing and Construction, voted Best of St. Augustine every year since 2012. As a GAF Master Elite contractor, Fidus installs the GAF Lifetime Roofing System and expert metal roofs built to withstand Florida's toughest weather. From emergency repairs to full replacements, plus pavers and gutters, Fidus delivers quality, durability, and energy savings with every job. For Fidus Roofing, call 904-355-ROOF. That's 904-355-7663. Fidus Roofing, where trust is built from the top down. All right, we did that one.
All right. Now, Sheriff, I don't know. Have you made it up to the new Ponte Vedra Sister Hazel's there? Is what made me think. Have you been up there?
It looks beautiful.
It's incredible.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
They did a good job with that, by the way.
It's incredible. And you'll be doing the traffic, I'm assuming, out on the
Yeah, they
street
hire us for every event, just like, as you know, just like they do at the AMP. Yes, sir. Yeah.
And last month at TDC, I kind of put you in a situation. You guys, I was bragging on you, but I really want you guys to be involved in the traffic portion of Night of Lights, because the way it works at the amphitheater, cities inside doing the law enforcement. You have your PSAs and you have your staff.
Sure.
You can do it more efficiently and much more experience. I really want you guys to handle the traffic portion of the Night of Lights. Has there been any discussions further that I don't know about since my public outcry?
No, there has not. We did get a mutual aid request from Chief Jen Michaud, and this is probably, just guessing, a month or two ago, requesting 10 additional deputy sheriffs. And then when I inquired about where the deputy sheriffs will be, majority of the 10 deputies that I saw will be down in the footprint somewhere around the Cathedral Place, the Plaza area down there, the Bayfront down there, basically for visibility and pedestrian control down there. As far as the traffic control, as you know, we mutual aid for St. Augustine City PD, and somebody was like, well, Sheriff, it's your jurisdiction. It is, but we don't disrespect the jurisdictions of our cities too unless there's an issue, meaning that, a city abandons basically their post. We've had that across the country where the sheriff constitutionally has to step in and actually take over jurisdictional boundaries. Well, that's not the case here. This is a case of a special event or an additional sanctioned event per se, and we are just simply a mutual aid entity. But we are all in to listen, and of course, I know the county commission has reached out to us and expressed some concerns, but we have to have those request per se from the jurisdictions, and not say we're the big sheriff's office going to come in and take over and save the world. No, we have to work together on these certain things.
Well, and we kind of made it work at the amphitheater 20 years ago.
By far.
And it just it works. And
sure
you guys
does.
do an amazing job on the street, and they do an amazing job inside.
Internally, yep.
And the biggest problem is the pedestrian control, because they keep walking and they don't stop, and then the traffic completely bottlenecks.
Sure.
And then it just gets worse and worse and worse. So I mean that was one of the reasons. And I have Chief Michaud and Chief Avalee's coming in on Monday.
Great.
Awesome.
So I'm going to ask them the exact same question, because I'm concerned about it.
Yeah. We made some recommendations too. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it. We made some recommendations, or I did at least. If you look at Avenida Menendez down in front of the Bayfront there, in front of Harry's, of course, in the Saint, and going all the way down to River and Fort, we recommended that basically like other cities have done. And I just was somewhere in another southern part of Florida, and I saw it where they actually put in the pedestrian barriers up all along the middle, and forces people to only cross at the designated crosswalks, which there's 2 on the Bayfront. So the only way to stop that is to put, basically a fence, or just, those bicycle rack fences basically down the center of northbound and southbound on Avenida Menendez. And that forces everybody, you have to walk down to the actual pedestrian crosswalk and cross. Yeah. I would recommend the same thing. I know they tried it, of course, at 4th of July, where they put the bicycle racks up per se, or pedestrian railing up. I was down at the UCC, the Unified Command, which was down in front of 1 King Street, so I did not walk down that area, but I heard it worked better. Again, I know they can only do so much, and Troy, of course, you've seen it your whole life down there, basically, but there's only so much they can do. But the more you can regulate, restrict pedestrians from crossing. You remember the night we were together going to dinner with our better halves. I mean, it was just a mess on Cathedral Place, and the only way to do that is to force them, almost like horse corral or cow, cattle corrals, is down to those pedestrian areas. So, with the 10 deputy sheriffs they've requested downtown, most of them are in that square, I'll call it, in front of Cathedral Place and King Street. And I don't know what the purpose is going to be as far as what their positions are, but I'm sure it's going to be to assist with pedestrian control and definitely visibility too, because I know that we requested that if a deputy goes down there, they have to have a marked patrol car assigned to them, because when people start seeing 10, 12, 15, 20 police cars around, it is everybody just kind of calms down a little bit. It's a little bit of false sense of security. Our air unit is always already up, as you know. Our brand new helicopter is up and available this year, which has a lot of technology policing in there, which is automatic feeds down to their real-time and then their real-time command center, and then also to our real-time intelligence. We're going to move some cameras around. We're going to move some license plate readers around, again, but we're waiting. Any requests that they give to me, of course, we're going to fill.
Yeah. No, I think everyone working together, we can figure this out. We have a lot of smart people, and I know they were talking about one point going outside for. We know our city better.
I have to agree. So no one knows how to.
I wasn't in favor of that.
Me too.
I think there's 4 major crosswalks that are problems. What I saw last year. The 3 on Avenida Menendez, because you got the 2, and then you got the one at the Fort.
The Fort. Yep, the 3.
The Fort, and then you got the worst one, and probably the one that causes the most trouble, because it comes together in 3 different areas, and that's right on Cathedral Place. And
St. George
and Charlotte.
And Charlotte too as well.
Charlotte. That one's the one where all the cars come together, and
that's true.
And the one at St. George Street's a little bit better. But still, that's the 5th one.
I think first of all, and again, we can. This is something I recommended too. Is Charlotte Street should be cut off by the plaza. There's no need for people to cut across there in their cars, so you can cut across that. But just because there's a pedestrian crosswalk there doesn't mean you have to use it. I would recommend actually that they would shut the pedestrian crosswalk off. That's in front of the old. I got me hands in my head, but not Scarlett Harris. No, sorry, no, the corner there. I'm just drawing a blank.
Talking about Cordova.
At Cordova. Crossing right there before the Fort. No.
Oh.
No.
River to Fort.
But right this the road.
No name.
Yep, the no name.
No name.
Nope. Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's further up, and I know what you're talking about. It's right at where the Pirate Museum is.
No, coming back the other way. So if you're coming from the Fort heading back downtown towards Harry's, that next pedestrian crosswalk is. I got me hands, but it was Irish.
It's River and Fort.
Come down a little bit further. It's the next intersection down there.
Paula?
Yeah, you got it. I knew you'd save us, Blake. But yeah, right at Paula.
That is me, Hanson.
Yeah, so I would cut that pedestrian crosswalk off, because you have the Fort, and then you have the one down further, almost in front of the Saint.
I can get behind that. Too.
Yeah, because if you cut that, that's too many, too close. Push them down to controlled area access, and shut that one off during those busy nights. Now you have one at the Fort, which is controlled by the red light, and then you have now one down by the Saint, basically controlled by the pedestrian crosswalk, and shut the other one off. They're too close together. And then down there, of course, again, I think 10 deputy sheriffs is a lot of manpower down there. Is it enough? I don't know. I know I'll be spending some more time down there just to get a look. But you and I were down there one night, and I was like, I physically came out. We're like, in front of the Catholic Church, like, oh my God, this is a 3-ring circus. So you definitely got to control the pedestrian cross and walking.
You got to control the chaos.
You have to control the chaos.
All right. Speaking of your beautiful wife, Diamond of Dreams.
Yes.
Give me an update on where we're at with Diamond of Dreams. You guys are moving it.
So excited. So the RFQ is actually out as we speak for the PAL project and the Diamond of Dreams. They're going to be coincide because of construction at the same time. So they are out. It closes on August 15th. We've had a lot of interested parties involved. We had that, I don't know what it's called, but something you would know, Troy, better than me, but it's like a pre-construction meeting where they invite the potential people that are going to bid on this to come to the PAL. There was, I think, 5, 6.
You nailed it. It's a pre-con.
Yeah. 5 or 6 businesses or different vendors were there, and they asked some very good questions. And I was very stern. You know how I am, is that if you're coming here to make $1 million off a project for kids and special needs kids, you got the wrong sheriff, because I'm going to call you out and don't waste my time. But we had some great responses. So it closes out on the 15th. Kendall has a design up and running with a couple different quotes of just people just sending us quotes because they're interested, but on just the playground alone. And they're all very similar, around $1.2 million on this special needs playground for children. And then we formed Kendall and I formed a group of local builders, TBL, Tyler Lee Construction, or Tyler Lee and his brother James, Bill Lonnie Construction, and then Kylie Turner Construction. We got them all together saying, hey, let's build the bathrooms for Kendall's special needs kids, because they're going to have changing rooms for adults in there, and washrooms for adults in there, and then a pavilion attached, which is what TBL Construction, Tyler Lee and his boys built down there for Home Again St. John's. So we're super excited. So we think we can actually fund that.
They were the city project on 207.
That's it. Yeah, right there at the Dixie.
Yeah.
Yep. So we want that same pavilion Kendall does attached to some bathrooms. And then, of course, we've had some people step up and say they want to donate the base of the baseball field. Florida Carter, which is, of course, a big company out of Jacksonville, owned by a mom and dad and a former the grandfather who passed away. They want to do the base as a donation. So Kendall is still raising funds. We got a $10,000 check the other day. We had a great time with Fire It Up with, of course, the firefighters, Chris Stewart and Bradley Cooper. I mean, they raised $17,500 for Kendall's project. So she's continuing to fund, but we believe we got it almost funded for the entire project, and we're going to build something that is going to be the best in probably Northeast, if not the state of Florida. It's going to be amazing for these children.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
See, and that's beautiful. Like, I've been here for so long, and with PAL.
Yeah,
I was on the very first PAL.
Yes, sir.
That was here, and I was on the very first. I was on the Field of Dreams too. I mean, it shows my age.
Yeah,
but it's amazing where it's at, where it's at, and you got to be very proud of where your police athletic.
Oh my goodness, I'm so proud. Yeah. And it's always scary as a sheriff, because I won't be here forever, and I hope the next sheriff, he or she that comes in has the same vision and understands that we don't want to lose these momentum we have, because the projects will be done for the next sheriff coming in when the county says I'm done with my terms. And I hope that he or she understands that this is the vision that we had. A lot of us had it for years and years and years, and we have the funding finally. We have 5.9 for the PAL project, and Kendall has raised just under $3 million for her project, A Diamond and Dream. So it's coming to fruition. It's exciting, and we should be. The builders have been very positive about breaking ground for the ball fields, including Kendall's project, around the end of this year. Super excited. It's emotional, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because Mike Dillion.
He was amazing, man.
Back in the 90s, when we actually kind of had it going already, and then Mike came in as a reserve officer, and then became part-timer, became the PAL, and now he's national. He's a national director of police athletic league, coming from this area, and that started in 1991.
Yeah, he's got the gift.
And Mike, proud of where he was at.
Yeah.
Wish he was a little more organized when he was here. Hopefully he's got people down there that's doing it right for him. But I love the guy, and his heart was amazing. And it was always about the kids and the people you have working there. Continued that, which is super
excited. Yeah. What's funny is God works in mysterious ways. Ken and I were down in Miami just a few weeks ago for some meetings down there, and we rented these stupid bikes outside the hotel, because there was a little gifts there. Regular, people are gonna be excited, super excited, but it's actually a bicycle you have to pedal. Anyway, so we rented this bike. Well, I didn't realize that South Miami Beach has some beautiful sidewalks along and boardwalks. So Ken and I, of course, she's been in much better shape than I am. Like hug each other. I was like, your vision is right here in your face, coming together. Yeah,
you're doing the right thing.
It's gonna happen.
All right. Another thing that's sitting out there, and we're talking about special needs.
Yep.
There's a House Bill 711.
711. Yep.
Is the number.
Yes, sir.
And it has to do about autism alerts.
Yeah.
How does that change how you guys handle it? I mean, it looks very similar to an Amber Alert to a Silver Alert.
Yeah.
How do you just kind of place this in that same wheelhouse, or is there something a little different in this component?
Yeah, so it's a little different. Of course, it's the Spectrum Alert, and that actually it's going to fall very similar to what you said, the Amber Alert, the Purple Alert, and all those alert systems are actually controlled and regulated by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, which is great. It's good oversight. It's good quality control by them. Of course, when and if and where you pull the trigger on who actually meets the criteria for, in this situation, the Spectrum Alert. So these are, I call this our special population because we look from the outside sometimes and maybe that's the norm and we're not the norm, right? But with that, we've come a long way. So, of course, these children and adults, of course, with these special needs, wander off, of course, because of their autistic abilities, I would say. I don't think it's a disability, it's an ability. So with that being said, this gives us additional training regulated by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, funding for that training. And then additionally, what it does is give that additional, when you see a Spectrum Alert, automatically that it is a special needs child or adult that is missing per se. And what that does is give us the ability to use that alert, as you know, use your cell phones, use your home phones, and use that technology that we normally can't use to put that alert to you immediately, looking for he or she per se. So this is exciting times for us. It took effect July 1st of this year, so it's in effect as we speak. Waiting on, of course, all the kind of pieces to fall into place as far as like the training goes, and because it has to be approved by the Criminal Justice and Standards and Training Commission, which is under the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. So again, we're super excited. It's another great tool for us to use. We have been very, very successful here in St. Johns County with our scent kits. If you have, of course, a special person in your household that, either wanders off or loses a sense of direction and ability to stay in the home, we have scent kits, which are I believe, are bloodhounds under Melanie Merritt and Nick Cooper. Those two dogs are some of the best in the country. We've proven it with fines, but also too, so you have the scent kit that you keep in your refrigerator, which is a direct scent of the person that has those special needs or abilities. And then additionally too, as well, is that we are now marking them in our system as, they wander off. So now we have a better response of getting there and finding these children and adults sometimes quicker based on these alerts.
All right. Can you text me that who that contact person is? Because I would like to post it on the
for the scent kit. Yep. No problem at all. Yeah.
Because obviously we don't have one in our house and we need one in our house.
It's too easy. Yeah, they're free. We pay for them. It's just one of the tools. Again, I'm a big fan of let's have multiple tools, and then one of those should work. And as you know, too, Troy, I think we talked about this years ago. We do have the Safe Track kit too, as well, which is that band we can put on he or she that we can track with the old RF output, which is pretty powerful. And that again is housed by our agency under Robin Plant. So we'll get you all that stuff. It's too easy.
No, that'd be great. You said a lot of these new bills came into play July 1. What's one that's a little challenging? Because I saw the e-bike thing, and I see that being a little bit challenged for you guys to enforce in some of the things that are in there. But what's one of the ones that came from the House recently that might be a little bit of a challenge, or one that we're not aware of that you're having to deal with?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the immigration one. We're still just kind of hung up on that a little bit. It's just not crystal clear, just because I think we're just sticking our foot in that pot of hot water that's usually done by the federal government. Mm-hmm. So again, that's just a little bit nerve-wracking to me. First of all, we've been doing it forever. We know how to do it, but now we're in a reporting system, and now we have deputy sheriffs out there that are certified as a designated immigration officer. I have 30 plus of those out there. But again, we're sticking our foot in something that I have not done for 31 years.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's again, everything that comes out of the House and the Senate, and this is no disrespect, 'cause I have a lot of people out there that are very, very close to me, but it's written by lawyers and people that are very educated in writing bills in legislature. And then it comes down to the layperson, and I'll call us the layperson. We have to test the waters and unfortunately have case law out there in order to fine tune it and do it the right way. Yeah. So the e-bike thing is another thing too as well. It's convoluted, but I'm going to clean it up, and I'm hoping this year that we get the votes. I'm going to work Tallahassee just like I did for the golf cart bill that was changed in the Florida state statute. We're going to work, my team and I are going to work it just as hard on the e-bike bill to pull it out, make it stand on its own 2 feet, and be a little more clear, not as muddy, maybe be brackish water as opposed to muddy water. But again, those are 2 bills, again, and I know it's kind of 2 things we talked about. Those are just 2 bills that we are in effect currently being used as we speak, and just still a little bit hazy. But we will figure it out. We have a great legal team, of course, and we have a great Florida Sheriff Association is very powerful. But we'll work it out together.
All right. Last question before we let you go. Back to school on Monday.
Yeah.
What's some parting words for people out there?
Yep.
You know, how to handle Monday in a better way, just stay calm. What's some of the things that you should tell them?
Yeah, and you said it, Troy, too, is again, you just please go on the St. Johns County School District and look at your school times in your area. They're all pretty much cut and dry, meaning that your K through 8s are a certain time, your elementary are a certain time, and then your high schools are a certain time. There are some of the bigger K through 8s that open later or sooner just based on the area population. But look at the times of those schools and then do your back planning properly there too. Just so you understand, when you look at a middle school or a K through 8 that opens the earliest, which is what goes on in St. Johns County, you got to back plan that bus is going to be out on the road probably 2 hours prior to that, especially in your outlying areas of St. Johns County. So just be patient, of course, and please don't waste our dispatchers' time and call us and tell us to traffic backup in Nocatee. There's going to be traffic backups countywide, and we want you to know that school is opening. Pay attention, slow down. And also, too, if you see something suspicious, please notify us immediately. You can never go wrong by just notifying us. If you're not sure what the non-emergency line is, call 911, and then we'll correct you if you're calling on the wrong line. But again, reach out to us, back plan properly. Let's support these young kids that are going to school and getting educated. There's over 52,000 attending public schools in St. Johns County. So happy back to school, and God bless everybody, and drive safe.
All right. And non-emergency line is maybe one of the 5 phone numbers I still know.
Have to it's funny. I just spoke,
and I'm going to see.
Let me see what you're right.
I'm going to see if I'm right.
Go ahead.
Is it 904?
Of course. Yeah.
824-8304.
You got it, my friend.
It is.
Yeah.
I've got it saved in my phone.
I don't know why that one's
kind of crazy, right?
Head.
Our whole life.
I don't think I know Blake's number.
I don't think I know my kids' numbers, by the way. I was kind of embarrassed, but I know that.
I know it's like 5657, something like that.
Something like that.
You need to. Everybody should be programming that number into their phone and save it in there as the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office non-emergency. Now, when it picks up, it goes through some prompts on there. Of course, and the biggest prompt is if you want to file a report or speak to a deputy sheriff. And that's what you're going to be calling for. You push that number, it goes right to our comms center. You'll speak to one of our comms operators, and they'll triage of what you're calling for. But again, if it's an emergency and you're not sure, don't hesitate. Just call 911 and our comm center. And I'm just going to say this to you. Our comm center, our 911 men and women out there that answer the 911 phone, they're going to say, hey, what's your emergency? Well, I just saw a dog off a leash. They're going to say, please stand by. They don't mean to be rude, but they have other 911 calls waiting. They're going to push you to a non-emergency operator, and then they can triage your call. So just be patient with us. Those men and women are phenomenal. They had over 400,000 ingoing and outgoing calls last year, 292,000 dispatch calls for our deputy sheriffs, and 100,000 911 calls. So just be patient when you call there.
Right. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you as always. Have a great day.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Greatest sheriff in the country.
100%.
In the county.
Definitely in the county.
Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Troy, how do you want to check the comments today?
On this Thursday, I will thoroughly thrash through the thoughtful thoughts of the Thunderous Tribe.
Right on. That thunderous thrash is brought to you by BNS Signs. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to BNS Signs, proudly family-owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high-quality High quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything: design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance with fast, responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with BNS Signs. Visit bnssigns.com because when it comes to signs, they do it all. Also, St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usina Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building includes free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092. St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience and community matters. All right, Troy, give us some comments.
All right. I probably should have told people to text me at 128.
I'm so excited to see these pictures.
All right. Wawa is the mini gas report. Wawa's at 311, Costco's at 361 or 261, and BP's at 312. Bobby got in a Go Air Force. Hopefully he's listening on the air.
You know, if you want the sheriff to see Go Air Force, write a check to the Diamonds and
Diamonds and Dream.
Diamonds and Dreams, and put Go Air Force in the memo line. That's the way the sheriff will see it.
So always great to have him in. Great comments. We're very fortunate that he is our sheriff and
100%.
here so easily accessible to us. So not everybody has that. So thank you, Sheriff, for coming in today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Sheriff. All right, that's Stordom. Do we have a Stordom stat?
Stordom stat today. George Washington created the Purple Heart on this day in 82. So 1782.
And it wasn't an injury award when he created it. It was one of the hardest awards to get.
And it was more of the Medal of Valor or the highest one. And then in the Civil War, they brought it back as an injury, and that's why his image is on the Purple Heart. Okay,
because originally it was a merit award, and I think only 4 of them were signed by him and awarded. And so it was very difficult to get. Yeah. Very cool Stordom stat. That Stordom stat brought to you by St. August Pizza in downtown St. Augustine, right at the corner of Iberia and MLK. Get yourself a slice today. Do we have plugs, Troy?
We have plugs. We have Bollocks tonight. We've had some great Bollocks shows this week. Lenny and I have been able to go back and forth, and you and Lenny went back and forth on Monday. So
we did.
If you haven't caught any of the Bollocks shows, make sure you do that. And
all right. Do you have any plugs for us, Blake?
Yeah. So next week we have 3 back-to-back interviews. Next week on the story, and we have on Monday we have Chief Michaud and Fire Department Chief Alvarez on Monday. Then then Tuesday, August 12th, we have County Administrator Jory Andrews. And then on Wednesday, August 13th, we have Eddie Creamer coming into the show.
Yeah. Very cool.
Our property appraiser.
Absolutely. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook to catch all of those amazing interviews. You can find us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube and our Rumble. Bollocks tonight. Bye, guys.